doesn't come back. I don't know what caused that, and so I apologize for the issue. Again, this is my first time doing a live on the road. I'm live from Phoenix tonight, which is exciting, and I've never done a live with my iPad before, and for some reason I got this terrible feedback. But this is an exciting day to be doing a live stream, and I want to tell you why, because when I scheduled this, I saw that Eli Lilly had a big conference call today, and that conference call is really kind of a call to investors to take a look at the upcoming year and kind of a forward-looking thing. And so I knew they were going to answer a lot of questions that people have about Mounjaro, but there's also some peripheral drugs. There's just a lot to get into. So I really appreciate everyone who's joining me here, and it seems like so far, I'm going to knock on wood, but it seems like so far there is no feedback in this stream here. So I appreciate y'all coming back and joining me here. Again, we're live from Phoenix tonight, which is exciting. I'm on the road. And today, while I was driving around this beautiful part of the country, I had the chance to listen to the 2023 forward-looking call to investors from Eli Lilly, and I really think that this information here is going to be extremely exciting for some of you to hear. Deborah, Candy, BJ, who else we got? Joseph, thank you for joining. And Joseph, yes, and I have a video on that. He's asking about peptides or compound meds, and we just did, that was our last live stream, so go back and look at that, and you will get some information on that. But today, I want to get right into it, guys, because I'm sorry, I had a bad habit of saying guys and gals. There's just so much to get into from this call. When I scheduled this live, I knew there would be a lot to talk about, and there certainly is. So let's get right into some of the highlights from today's call. The first thing that I want to lead off with tonight is the big news that the 7.5 milligram, the shortage, they addressed that in this phone call. The most important thing for all of you to know who have been waiting for the 7.5 is by next week you should be able to get it. They were anticipating that by the end of this week, pharmacies will have received those doses and be able to fill them. The flip side is they've also kind of said we're expecting that we might see some of these shortages again in the 5, because what a lot of people did is instead of moving up to the 7.5, they moved to the 5. Or stayed at the 5, I should say. So we'll see what that brings, but they also reinstated the confidence that they will be able to keep up with supplies. And so we're feeling really good about that, right? Joseph's been waiting for the 7.5 for 2 weeks. Check back with your pharmacy tomorrow. I just want to give a couple shout outs. BJ, Joseph, Candy, Deborah, Michelle, Mimi, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. She's got a great channel. BJ has a great channel. Pop on over there. Candy, EB, Crystal, Joe, and Joseph again. Thank you for joining tonight. So the 7.5 should be back in stock this week. I would say wait till Monday, and you might be able to get that filled. So how exciting is that? Again, what they cited in this call was that they've had a really hard time anticipating what doses were going to be the popular doses. And every doctor, I mean, all you have to do is read on the forums a little bit to see that every doctor kind of has a little bit different way that they've kind of approached the scheduling of how to titrate people up. And in their defense, they've had to call audibles because of people's inability to sometimes get these from their pharmacies. So they addressed that, and it sounds like going into next year they feel really confident. They addressed the fact that in Japan, Mounjaro will come online for diabetes treatment next year, and they are again doubling their manufacturing capacity. So that's the first thing that I wanted to get into right away, because I feel like there's so many people out there, and I was in the same boat a couple weeks ago, where you can't get that 7.5 dose. So wanted to address that right off the bat. Now, since I had to reboot the stream, which is beyond frustrating after spending a week of getting everybody geared up to join the stream and sharing the link. I'm going to ask a favor of those of you who are in here. If you wouldn't mind sharing the stream into the forums you're in, if you just copy the link, hit share, copy the link, share it into the stream, share it with your friends, and also if you could like this stream, that way we can get a little bit more traction with this stream that I put a ridiculous amount of effort into setting up and doing this week. Because we've still got a lot of stuff to get into, and then at the end I want to kind of leave time for people to ask some questions, any questions that they might have, and I'm not promising that I'll be able to answer all of them, but I will gladly try to answer some of them. I just, before this stream, was listening back through the call to try to pick up on anything I may have missed the first time through. So thank you for liking the stream and sharing. And also, if you're here for the first time, please subscribe to the channel so that you can contribute to the chat. So last night I posted a video, and I posted a video because it sounded like Lilly was going to give some big information on another weight loss drug that they've been going after. And actually what I was surprised to find in my research is that there was two that they were going to talk about. I just didn't get a chance to get the other one into the video last night. But there are two drugs that they are in clinical trials right now, and today they announced that Retatrutide, apparently it's not Retatrutide or Retatrutide, so Retatrutide is how they said it. It's not near as fun to say that way, but we'll roll with it, I guess. They're the experts. It is a triple G, they call it, triple G. So we've talked on this channel before, if you follow this channel, about the fact that what makes Mounjaro different than Ozempic or Wegovy or Rybelsus or some of these other GLP-1s is it also acts on the GIP receptor. It is, the class of medicine is called an incretin. So it's an incretin, it acts on the incretin hormones, which are made in the gut, which are responsible for making you feel full. And there's a few different ways that they act, but Retatrutide takes Mounjaro to the next level, right? By acting on a third receptor, the glucagon receptor, and that's why they call it the triple G, GLP, GIP, glucagon. And so it takes Mounjaro to the next level, and what you all might find interesting is here, some of you are here for weight loss, and some of you are here because you're diabetic, and some of you are like me, you're here for both. And the exciting thing about Retatrutide for those who are looking to lose weight is that it sounds like Lilly is putting a lot of effort into this medication because its primary function is to be a best-in-class weight loss medication. So even though it takes Mounjaro to the next level, what they actually said in this call, and this is the Lilly people saying this, is that Retatrutide is not expected to do as well with A1C and blood sugar levels as Mounjaro. So if you're a diabetic, Mounjaro is probably the place to stay. And hey, we ain't got no complaints about what Mounjaro is doing for weight loss. Can I get a witness? But Retatrutide is more a drug that is being developed specifically for weight loss that also seems to help and aid, obviously, because it has some of those same acting compounds as Mounjaro does, Retatrutide. So that is a super, super exciting thing. Retatrutide was not at one point, and I wasn't able to source the articles, the exact articles today, and I'll go back and try to find them. But Retatrutide was at one point not expected to advance further in the clinical trials, and I'm not sure what that is. I'm kind of interested to hear. But they may have keyed into that a little bit in the conference call today when they said that they are, although they're putting a lot behind Retatrutide and they're hitching their wagon, and they even said that almost verbatim. They're like, we're betting on Retatrutide as the triple G medication for weight loss. But they said we're not pulling back on Tirzepatide because Tirzepatide is known and well proven through various clinical trials to be safe and effective. they have to put this medication, even though it's just a small variant from Mounjaro, they have to put this through all the rigorous processes that Mounjaro has been through as well. So that is some interesting information. I found it super exciting because, gosh, there are just so many people who are dealing with obesity or being overweight, and this really seems to be the magic bullet, like I mentioned in a previous video. I may have been maybe better served to say that these GLP-1, GIP agonists are the silver bullet rather than mentioning a brand name Mounjaro. But Mounjaro happens to be what I take, and I happen to be a big fanboy of the medication just because of what it's doing in my own life. So with that said, I want to talk a little bit about the other drug that they talked about that they're doing for weight loss as well. So some of us get a little bit queasy about the idea of giving ourselves an injection, and some of us would rather take a pill. Not me. I'd rather take a shot once a week and be done and not have to think about it for 7 days. But they have been working on a medicine called orforglipron. I'm sure I'm butchering that, but it'll have a more clever name when it comes out. Orforglipron is a oral medication, which is a GLP-1. So GLP-1, think Wegovy, think Ozempic. That is the type of medication that is, but it's oral, like Rybelsus. The difference between orforglipron or forglipron, or however the heck you say it, is that it actually it's designed again as a weight loss medication, and it is an oral medication that is expected to be as good at weight loss, provide the similar results to weight loss as Wegovy and Ozempic, which are injectables. So you're talking about an oral medication that will now be as effective for weight loss as the injections, Wegovy and Ozempic. So if you like taking a pill over taking a shot, you're really gonna like orforglipron. I feel like we're in chemistry class again. It's crazy. Yeah, Michelle, I agree. Shots all the way, and Retatrutide, or however they said it. Ratahutride? I can't help myself, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm excited about that as well. And I think that medication will be, again, I will say it again, I feel like these GLP-1 agonist medications and the future variants of them are going to do for obesity what the polio vaccine did for polio. They're that big, and there's so many people who are struggling so much because of the complications of obesity. And the other part that I wanted to mention just as a commentary, so there's probably some in the audience that are like, oh, okay, great, so Lilly's working on these extra medications, and hopefully they did address also that by the end of next year they expect that Mounjaro will be approved for weight loss, not just type 2 diabetes, but it'll be FDA approved. I think there's a lot of people who are like, great, but my insurance doesn't cover anything for weight loss. I'm actually one of those people. I am in this instance fortunate to have diabetes so that I can get this medication. But I think that insurance companies will start following these obesity medications and covering them the same way they did some of those medications that came out to fight alcohol addiction and cigarette addiction. Some of those other addictions that cause havoc on people's bodies, because they know that long term somebody who's not a smoker costs less than somebody who is not a smoker. So that I'm hoping that's the pattern that these follow, and I'm hopeful that they are. So with that said, those are the three main things that were covered in the call today. The Mounjaro supplies getting ironed out, the Retatrutide and the orforglipron getting moving into the third stage of the clinical trials as well. See, what else do we have? One of the cool things that they're doing for Mounjaro is, and I've kind of talked a little bit about this as well, is that with Mounjaro, there's people all over the forum saying, Mounjaro fixed this for me, and it fixed that for me. And I mean, some of them, you know, by all means, it may be helping people with different things, but some people get ridiculous about it. And I've been joking, like, there's people that are nearly saying, like, it reanimated my dead husband, and thank God for Mounjaro. The cool thing is, in all reality, that they are doing some trials, clinical trials on Mounjaro for things like sleep apnea and treating sleep apnea. They're doing clinical trials for addiction. And I can attest to that, just being somebody who, I mean, I would identify myself as a food addict. And I mentioned in another video, you really got to go back to the playlist that I have under Mounjaro for weight loss, or whatever I called it. But just play through the whole playlist and you're going to get bombarded with information. I think that the cool thing is, for Mounjaro, is that there's some sort of psychoacting element to it that not only makes me feel physically full, but I don't obsess about, when am I going to eat again? What am I going to eat again? And I really feel that, especially when I'm on the road for work. So I can attest to that, especially today. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up the chat because I don't want to ignore all of you guys. There's just so much information to get to. But yeah, I think it's exciting to fathom what other applications there are, and they're studying a lot. And I think that's also an indication that Lilly sees this medication as very safe. Otherwise, they would not be investing literally billions of dollars into developing it out further, trying to figure out what other case uses there might be for Mounjaro. The cool thing too, just to go back to Retatrutide, I didn't make a note on this, but I thought about it as I was talking about other uses for Mounjaro. Retatrutide seems to also be helping people reduce their fatty liver. So if you're type 2 diabetic and you likely have fatty liver, it's just likely. This, you know, type 2 diabetes is a metabolic disorder. And with metabolic disorder typically comes, hypertension, fatty liver disease, vitamin D deficiency, all of these, it's just a domino effect. Once you've ravaged your system, your metabolic system, it's just a cascading amount of effects. And it seems like, even though on the A1C side that Retatrutide isn't as effective as Mounjaro, it is effective at reducing fatty liver, which is a huge help for people. I'm going to address some of these comments here. Let's see what we got here. Chris, you joined late. You did hear via TikTok creator who covered the call, who stated that there is another change to the savings card. I didn't catch that, but I didn't get all the way through a second time, and I was on the road trying to navigate here on my work trip. So I will listen again, Chris, and if they did mention, I was specifically listening to it too, but I felt also like at times that the call was a really high level call to be discussing savings cards. But perhaps it is in there and I missed it. So I'll go back and I'll give it a third listen probably tomorrow, and I will, anything I missed, I'll probably do another video, and I'll probably do a separate video to cover this stuff as well. Not everybody likes to sit down and listen to a 45-minute live stream to get the information that they're after. Candy, you're curious about the coupon changes as well. Yeah, I know there are a lot of people. I don't think they're canceling it. I would anticipate, Candy, okay, so just think about this logically. Lilly has this new drug, okay? They've already said it's in the bank, it's going to be approved for weight loss. They want to get as many people on that medication now as possible. Like, what reason do they have not to, right? If you can get I'm in sales. If you can get your product in somebody's hand, you want to get your product in that person's hand, especially if you believe in that product, you know it's the best product. I believe that's what Mounjaro is, and if it were me at the helm, I would be getting that product in everybody's hand as soon as I can, because I believe in its efficacy. I believe in the value it can provide to people, and I'm just going to trust my company that it's the best company to deliver on the back end. So I would say that, just hang tight. 2023 is going to be such a good year for those of you who have been holding on. Especially, I'm not talking about the diabetics here, because we got a lot of options to choose from. Mounjaro happens to be the best, and it's very exciting. But if you're obese and you've been waiting for something that is safe and something that frickin' works, 2023 is going to be such an exciting year. Such an exciting year. Chris, thank you. I thank you for watching. I appreciate everybody who's watching, everybody who's subscribed to the channel. If you're not subscribed, please help me out. Like, comment, and share this stream. I really appreciate it. It helps me keep doing these videos. I'd like to grow this channel. I have a small goal by the end of the year to get up to 500 subscribers. I think we'll get there. But I want to ultimately get to up over 1,000. That way I get a little spiff for doing these videos. And to be honest with you, at some point my wife's going to grow tired of me making all these videos because we got 4 little kids at home and they are a bit time consuming. But she's also excited for me, excited that I found this passion. And really these videos have become kind of a hobby for me. So it's nice to have like a little thing that I enjoy to do. And I think the part of it that I enjoy the most is all of you. That's why I've gravitated to these lives. And another plug for BJ Davis's Discord, which I'm going to have to rewrite the description and everything for this video. So at the end of this video, I will make sure to link to BJ Davis. Please make sure you check out his page. I love BJ, and he has this Discord channel that is super helpful in sharing information and getting information. I want to go back to some of your questions here. Chris, thank you for thanking me. Sue YouTube. Makes sense. Appreciate it. Regis. I don't know if I've ever met a Regis that wasn't the Regis. Is it necessary to have insurance to pre-auth for Mounjaro? The coupon is not enough. So, if your insurance covers some, my understanding is the coupon covers the rest. That's how most copay, I call them copay cards. That's what I'm used to for my wife's medication. This idea of a coupon is kind of new to me. But what they're essentially doing is they're picking up your copay minus $25. They say, you pay $25, we'll pay the rest. So your insurance kind of has to cover some. But keep trying, Marlon or Regis. That is my suggestion to you is like, if you've been denied, keep trying. Just be a persistent SOB. Just be persistent with them. Because eventually, it hits the right person. I'm convinced that customer service, getting good customer service, is not about the company anymore that you're dealing with, because there's great companies with notorious for great customer service, and you can go and you can get terrible customer service. What it is about finding the right person, because I can find a right person in a crappy company, and if they actually care about what they do, they'll help you. So I always say, be your best advocate. Advocate for yourself at the pharmacies. If they're giving you a hard time, ask to talk to somebody else. Go back the next day. If you call the insurance company and you get somebody who's a clown and they can't help you and they don't know what they're doing, call back the next day. You gotta be persistent. And if you're not persistent, you're not gonna win at this game, because that's what it takes to deal with insurance companies. I'm gonna get on a high horse and I'm gonna start spitting here in a second, so I'll stop. Thank you for the encouragement. Candy said we'll get to 1,000. I can't wait for that day. Sue YouTube. What do you mean coupon is not enough? You have to have insurance company pre-authorization for weight or diabetes. Coupon is not enough. I'm not sure what you mean there, and I'm not sure that I said that. So what I'm saying, Sue, is if you have the coupon and you give them the coupon, I don't think you get the benefit of the coupon without also having some insurance coverage. I could be wrong. RC, hey, you're here. Hope your boys' basketball game was good. Hope you won, or at least I hope it was a learning moment. Appreciate you joining. Lel, hello from Massachusetts. Hello from Phoenix. And you're welcome. I couldn't do this information without the great people in BJ Davis's Discord, which I will link as soon as I get all of that information loaded back. We had a little bit of snafu at the beginning of this stream. Some weird feedback. I don't have an external mic connected or anything, and all of a sudden it just went crazy. So I had to reboot it, so I lost the 30 minutes of information I put into the description and all that nonsense. Good, Sue. So you're on the same page now. Okay, cool. All right, so we talked about, I gotta grab a drink. It's a lot of talking. Jess, yes, and I saw you comment earlier. Sorry I missed you. Jess in the PNW, who also has a YouTube page. Go check her out. And yes, come to the Discord. Regis is in Miami, and there's a huge shortage of Mounjaro, especially 75. So rewind this stream to the beginning, Regis, and you're going to get the 411 on that. The long and short of it is, check back Monday, you can be fine. I want to open this up now to just fire away any questions that you have. And I don't care. They can be personal questions like, Dave, what do you eat in a day? Dave, how long have you been struggling with your weight journey? Dave, how do you handle being an overweight dad? I don't know, whatever it is. You can ask me personal questions. I'm happy to answer those. You can ask questions about the Eli Lilly thing today. If anybody has any questions, I am just opening up some time here at the end to answer any questions that you may have. And just give you an opportunity to speak. And this is the part that I like that's interactive. I just happen to have had a lot to say tonight because of that call earlier. But really what I enjoy is the interacting back and forth. As I was saying earlier, these videos have become a bit of a hobby for me because I love people. I'm in sales. I think that's what's made me successful in my job is I'm a very relational person. I love the one-on-one interaction, and that's why I've gravitated to these live streams. So Marlon, you said, can I explain the Eli Lilly thing again? And you're going to have to be more specific than that. As far as, just be more specific about what your specific question is about Eli Lilly. So YouTube, good news to share. I let my friend know about Ozempic and Mounjaro, and she's going to get Ozempic for $50 a month. Hey, winning. That is excellent. Good for her. Assuming it's a her, maybe it's a him, or whatever there is these days. Jess in the PNW, what is the most difficult part about living in an obese body for you? 100% Jess, it is fatigue. I can't be the best version of me because I am tired. I'm just very tired all the time. And Mounjaro's helping that for me. I mean, I'm traveling. I normally wouldn't have the energy for this, but I didn't eat like trash today. That's helpful. And, I'm 15 pounds lighter than I was a month ago. So thank God for that, and thank God for Mounjaro. And Michelle H., special shout out to her because she gave me a lot of information that I used on the last live stream because she's a researcher. She's very, very, very smart gal, full of information. She could be doing these videos as well, and she has an Instagram channel that you can follow. She's wondering if it sounds like Lily's going to be the next good investment. So, interesting. I wondered if somebody was going to ask that tonight. I don't know that I'm necessarily equipped, but I guess I'm no more equipped to give financial advice than I am to give medical advice. Both are kind of laughable. Again, I just preface everything with I'm a guy on YouTube. I probably will. I mean, I think it's sitting somewhere around $400, and they saw a target of like $15 per share, but I don't know that I buy it. If this stuff comes online like they think it will, I think the biggest risk, Michelle, again, personal opinion, not a financial advisor. I think the biggest risk is that they've very clearly tied themselves to these GLP-1, GIP, the triple G, the Retatrutide. They've really hitched their wagon to that. So if the Retatrutide, for some reason, causes somebody to grow another eyeball on their forehead, I think that's the biggest risk. That there would be some major side effect to that, and it wouldn't be what they think it is. And then they definitely miss some target because they're definitely putting a lot of money into that medication. So let's see if I missed any questions here. I don't think I've missed any questions. Anybody else have any questions or anything that they would like to add to the stream? Did anybody else listen to Lily's call today? I'm interested in knowing that. I mean, I might be the only nerd that obsesses. I'm sure I'm not. There's a lot of people out there. I'm sure I'm not the only one who listened to that today. Candy wants to know what the issue is with diabetic versus overweight patients. I don't feel like those who are overweight are taking this medication from me. We all need help. Oh, Candy, you know what you're doing when you're going to get me back on my soapbox with that question. And I will for a minute because people with obesity have all sorts of underlying illnesses, metabolic disorders. It might not show up in a scan of your A1C or your blood sugar levels. It's messing with people big time. It's causing cancers. It's ravaging people, and it's robbing them of their life, and they're no less entitled to these medications than type 2 diabetics. People should be given the opportunity to make choices with their doctors, and no third party should be involved in that decision, period. End rant. Michelle, I'm sure you do watch the studies. You're just sharp as a tack, so I'm sure you do. And I will be probably asking you information about what you will think about those studies as well. Regis was late. What's it's Regis, first of all, it's Retatrutide. It's not really. It's Retatrutide is what they called it on the conference call. It's Mounjaro to the 10th power. That's the bottom line. So to recap, you've got Wegovy and Ozempic was the first GLP-1, as far as I know, the first GLP-1 agonist medication designed for diabetics. Diabetics took that and they said, hey, I'm losing a bunch of weight. That's cool. So then the maker of, I think it's Novo Nordisk is the maker of Ozempic, said, hey, people are losing a ton of weight with this. We ought to market it for weight loss. They went through the clinical trials and came up with Wegovy. And Wegovy was a higher dosage of Ozempic, and people lost a bunch of weight, and then they had shortages because it was an amazing drug. Well, in the background, Eli Lilly was developing Mounjaro, and Mounjaro didn't just act like Ozempic on the GLP-1 agonist, but it also acted on the GIP. And these are all incretin. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. So many things running through my head. These all act on your incretin hormones, which long and short make you lose weight. The thing about Retatrutide, to get to your question, is so you have the GLP-1s, the Ozempics, the Wegovy's, then you have Mounjaro, which also adds to uses both of those, or uses the GLP-1, also adds the GIP, and then Retatrutide acts on the glucagon receptors. So they call it the triple G. So it goes a step further than Mounjaro and does even better in weight loss trials so far than Mounjaro. And it's moving. They announced today that they're moving it into phase 3, which by the end of the year should be done. And I'm guessing, I think they said by 2024 or 2025, Retatrutide will be on the market for weight loss. So that's what it is. The Patrice Denise, like the way that rolls off the tongue. I agree. It should be available to all. On my second week of Mounjaro, type 2 diabetic. You go, girl. I love it. And I'm not sure how to say it. Nemalde. Trulicity, Victoza are also GLP-1. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And I did go over those in another video. So there's another live video. If you go to my live stream channel, not my channel, go to my channel, then go to the live stream playlist. You'll see the live streams. There's one with a bunch of different shots. Some of them are Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, Rybelsus, which isn't a shot, but it's a pill. In that live stream, we covered the differences of all of those. And so this is a great time to stop 33 minutes into this stream and say, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't already, there's 43 people here, but only 14 likes on the stream. If you could just hit that little like button, you'd be doing me a big favor by helping grow this stream. So like, comment, and subscribe. And also I'm going to take a drink because my tongue is sticking in my mouth. I like my swanky digs, courtesy of the Embassy Suites in Phoenix. I can't help it. So this is mostly a Mounjaro channel. But I can't help it when I'm on the road for work to notice the disgusting things in my hotel because I'm a complete germaphobe. And so being in here is just makes my skin crawl. So I've done a couple shorts that are just little kind of funny videos about my experiences in my hotels. Today's was particularly disgusting. So I had to share it with you all, of course. There are a few more like Invokana, I've heard of that, Michelle, that haven't been marketed for weight loss due to such side effects. Michelle, you need your own channel because you're way smarter than I am. Jess, awesome live. Thanks for, oh yeah, Jess, thanks for coming. Thanks for being so sweet. Candy, this has been great. Thank you, Candy. I think you've been on all my lives, so thank you. Regis, I am on my second month with Mounjaro 5 milligrams. Afraid 7.5 is not available, so my doctor suggests me to continue with 5. Okay, so that's just the problem, Regis, is there's been the 7.5 shortage. Now everybody's staying on 5. So what you're going to see is you can't get 5 pretty soon. So either get it filled or wait till Monday and you're going to get your 7.5 filled. Or get them both filled. That's what I would do. BJ, thank you You missed the call. Thanks for catching up. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I tried to listen to it 2 times through, and I didn't quite get there, so it sounds like maybe I missed something with the coupon. I was listening for it, but I must have missed it. Michelle, you're too tired. All right, well, I'll just let you keep feeding me information, all right? And then I'll just pass it off as my own. Does that work for you? Another plug here. I'm just going to go back through and plug some channels here, and I will put these links in the description for those of you watching later. BJ Davis has a phenomenal page about his Mounjaro journey. Michelle has a presumably wonderful, I'm sure she's just wonderful, so I'm sure her Instagram is equally as wonderful. I don't do Instagram, but I'm sure she's great on there. Jess in the PNW has a YouTube page about her Mounjaro journey. Haven't got to check that out yet, but I'm excited to. Maybe I'll do that tonight. RC and Candy, you've been great at joining the lives and contributing, so I appreciate you. Let me know if you have YouTube pages. I'd be happy to share them here. I'm scrolling back through here to see if I've missed anybody. I know there are several from, I'll plug BJ's Discord. BJ Davis has a great Discord channel full of information and great conversation about Mounjaro and life. Frankly, we get a little bit off track sometimes, but that's what this is all about. So I will link to his Discord. I'm sure he would love to have you there. Otherwise, he wouldn't have told me to share it here, or told me it was okay to share it here. I offered to, not the other way around. Donna, Byetta and Victoza were first, but not great for weight. Yeah, so as somebody mentioned before, they are GLP-1 agonists. I don't know. I've never taken them. And frankly, I'm such a Mounjaro fanboy, I kind of feel like, of course they're not that great. They're not Mounjaro. Will there be a link to the missed call by chance? I will absolutely put that link in there. I plan on doing that. I've saved the link up here on my phone to make sure that I can add that in the comments. If you weren't here earlier, I started the stream. I was so prepared, and if you don't know me that well yet, but I'm not the most prepared person. I like to wing it. I don't go off of a long sheet of notes, which is arguably sometimes better. I'm more of a stream of consciousness, fly by the seat of my pants guy. But there was a bunch of feedback at the beginning of this call, and I had to reboot it. I had a bunch of great information in the comments or in the description of the last video, but I had to reboot it. So there's nothing there now. But we're doing okay, right? We got 34 watchers and 18 likes. And by my count, that's about 16 of you that still need to hit the like button. I'm a jerk. I'm sorry. Let's see. Anything else? Anybody else? There's some more people who have joined the stream. Thank you, Michelle. There's some more people who have joined the stream. Does anybody have any questions? Again, I'm willing to take personal questions about my side effects, being an overweight person, being a diabetic person, being a dad, being a husband, whatever it may be. I'm happy to answer those in the context of how it relates back to this weight loss journey in Mounjaro, or shoot, maybe you got some philosophical questions I could take a stab at tonight. I'll open it up for questions kind of one last time before we wrap up this stream. 22, so some of you did the right thing. Now 23, good for you all. Thank you so much for liking and sharing this stream. Again, my goal is to get this up to 1,000 subscribers, 500 by the end of the year. I think we'll be there by the end of the next couple of weeks here. I don't know how well I'll be able to keep up with this through the holiday season. It's a big season for us. We love Christmas. We love taking time to celebrate the birth of the Savior of the world, and we spend a lot of time as a family, just a real special and kind of sweet time for us through the year. So I'm not sure what my availability will be, but I'll be working less, so perhaps. Michelle, do you have increased fatigue right after the shot? Yes, for sure. For sure I do, yeah. I want to say, so for a while I was taking it before bed because I felt like the first couple ones I took, it was so bad that I just wanted to go to sleep. It's like, man, maybe if I take it before bed, maybe it'll just help me sleep. So bonus, right? So that's what I've been doing. And then the last couple, which has actually been a 10. So I've taken 2 10s so far. And for whatever reason, because of my schedule, I've been taking them early in the day, and I've been feeling kind of crappy, fatigue-wise and energy level-wise for that first day. But, you know, the weird thing is that that first day also gives me the most, probably because of the fatigue, excuse me, and the fatigue and the kind of just a little bit of underlying low-key nausea. I don't eat that much, so it's probably the best day, calorically speaking, for me in the week as well. Lelo is starting Mounjaro this Friday. Once the pharmacy receives it, what is your best recommendation when starting? Whew, that is a great question, and I would like those of you out there to respond to that, because I know that you all have opinions about that, and I feel like everybody, the big thing, Lelo, is everybody's experience is different. And so the biggest thing that I would say is, because there's so much information out there, including, I mean, I'm contributing to it, right? So hopefully I'm not making your job harder, but like there's kind of a decision fatigue. Like we get all this information from all these different sources and we think we're going to expect this or that. I don't like to get into those that much because your experience is going to be different than mine. But if you're just saying, okay, what did you experience? I just experienced some fatigue and a little bit of nauseousness. And if I could go back, I would just probably have taken those first couple doses before I went to bed. I mean, other than that, it's different for everybody. But for me, it just wasn't that big of a deal that I would have changed much. The 2.5 milligram that they start you on is by design. It's not a therapeutic dose. So there's a ton of people on those forums that are like, I lost 30 pounds in 2 months on 2.5. So, I mean, clearly there's benefit to taking it, but it's not a therapeutic dose. It wasn't in the clinical trial, so there's not a lot of information about how they're going to impact you. But I do agree with some of what I'm seeing here. Michelle, since she's anemic and has fatigue issues, it wasn't great, so she's going back to the evening. And I think she said something about drinking water. Joseph said something about drinking water. Yeah, I mean, that's just good. There's so many side effects that are reported about Mounjaro that are actually side effects of losing weight. And I've touched on this in some of my previous videos. Please go back to my channel and go to the special section where the playlist is for Mounjaro weight loss, and just watch through that, because there's just about every question you have I answered probably. I mean, every question we've had tonight pretty much has been answered there some way. But like when you lose weight, you really deplete your body of magnesium, potassium, and sodium. So find a good supplement. I have a short video. If you go to my shorts, you can see, that sounded weird, go to my shorts. If you go to my short videos, you're going to see what I use there, and I also linked it in my last live stream. Hydrate and separate food and drink. That's a good one. Diarrhea, man, I've heard about a lot of people talk about diarrhea. I don't know, I giggle because I'm a 6-year-old boy apparently. Diarrhea was bad with metformin. For me, with Mounjaro, I feel like it's like evened me out that way. So I haven't had any of those issues, and in fact, I think it cured some for me. Put me in the list of people saying Mounjaro cured my dead husband. I'm that guy. Brent, as in all things in life, don't overthink it. You're more likely not to have any real bad side effects than not. I 100% agree, and I think that's excellent advice. Teresa Cole, I think a coupon requires the insurance. Yep, we went over that. Patrice, yep, you do it before bed too. That sounds like a common theme now. I think I've heard enough people say that before bed is a good time to take that. Jess, there, you're just nailing my point home. And drink water, which is always great advice if you're losing weight. Clear that system out. Flush your kidneys out, give them a break. Well, I guess you're not giving your kidneys a break to drink water, but you're flushing them out, which they need. MJ, just take my craving out and eat less than fast. Yeah, Regis, yep, exactly. That's the main thing. This is the thing I say, Regis, about eating on Mounjaro. I eat less often, and I eat less when I eat. It's pretty simple, right? And I'm losing weight because of it. You got super sick on 2.5, Michelle? Maybe you mentioned that in the thing and I missed it. Yeah, day one is kind of a doozy. Mimi, that's the conclusion I came to. The side effects are due to weight loss rather than the meds. Yeah, I mean, if you've been on a weight loss journey, you've been through this rigmarole. You start dropping weight, and there's a lot of sins that drinking water forgives. But yeah, you want to supplement that with sodium. They have these drinks, LMNT. Look up LMNT on Amazon. You'll find, but they're not the best one. The best one that I found actually has more magnesium and more potassium in it, and find it in my videos. I linked them. Sue YouTube, you're gonna get Ozempic from Canada. Canadian medications, they're cheaper there or something. I don't know. I've heard other people talk about that. But compound pharmacies are something to look at too, because people can just, there's compound pharmacies that can just make it. They like literally can just make it there and sell it to you. Lil, thank you for all the recommendations. Very helpful. I'm looking forward to growing. Me too. And I really appreciate you joining, Lil. I find it a bit awkward to call people by their screen names, but I just hope I'm saying them right. Brent was skeptical, but oh yeah, I've heard that too. So people who are nauseous smelling an alcohol wipe apparently is a helpful thing. I've never tried that, but I've heard it from like 10 people, so now I'm gonna have to try it. Found ways around it, but you threw up for, oh geez, Michelle. Wow, she threw up for 4 days. So, well, I mean, I suppose that's useful information to somebody out there who's might go through the same thing and know somebody else went through it. The nausea is a real thing with this medication. There's been times where I'm like, gosh, I'm getting sick, and then I realize, oh wait, I'm taking a higher dose of Mounjaro this week. That's why I probably feel this way. Wow, good stuff, everyone. Thank you so much, everybody, for contributing here to the conversation. I just so appreciate every single one of you who has joined tonight, who has liked, commented, and subscribed to the channel. I really enjoy making these videos, and the top of the tier for me is these live videos. So I want to get to scheduling these routinely and doing these often with you all, because I just enjoy them so much. I enjoy the community piece. I enjoy the relationship piece, just getting to know people who are on the same journey. The weight loss journey with obesity, with type 2 diabetes are a tough journey to be on. And it's tough, I think, in a big way because the world doesn't understand it. And what an exciting thing, folks, that the medical world is really starting to understand it. And so we have options that have never existed before, and I just think that that's such an exciting time for those of us who have struggled with these, and I'm just so excited for what the next 2023 is going to be. A big year. If you didn't catch the first part of the stream, please, especially like the first 15-20 minutes, I just rattle off all of the things from the Eli Lilly call today that were so encouraging about what they have in the pipe for 2023, not only with Mounjaro and being approved for weight loss in 2023, but with other medications. It's just a very, very exciting time for those of us who have struggled for so long with our weight loss and obesity and type 2 diabetes. Thank you all for joining tonight. Michelle, thank you for encouraging me on the live stream tonight. Mimi, thank you. Yeah, this is the first time that I've seen you here, and I've just done them randomly, so don't feel bad. This is the first one that was scheduled, and then it went haywire on me at first. That was frustrating, but I appreciate that, and I appreciate all of you. And please tell your friends who are struggling with their weight about this channel. I am just a huge proponent of people who are struggling with weight loss, struggling with obesity, struggling with type 2 diabetes, of just finding hope. And I feel like we've been given that with these advancements in medicine, and with Mounjaro specifically and what's in the pipeline. So I look forward to doing more of these with all of you, scheduling them so there can be a nice group here and that we can all participate together. And with that said, I really thank each one of you for joining tonight, and I hope that you'll join us on the next live. And I'm going to kill the stream tonight and go back and add all the links that I talked about that I was going to add, so we'll do that. So take care, everybody. Thanks for joining. Please join us next time. Like, comment, and subscribe. That helps me grow the channel. That's my only ask of you for sharing this information. So have a great night, and we'll see you next time.